Alright. Hopefully you can hear me, hear my voice. Hear me voice. Hey, am I scoltish or something? Let's see. I know I left you on a black screen for a little bit. I think this thing might be falling a little bit behind, but that's only because my bit rate's running a little low right now. Okay, yeah, no, you can hear my voice. You can hear my voice. I tested it. I have my other computer running right now, so that's my monitoring station to make sure that nothing bad happens. Anyway, hello, my fellow viewers and subscribers. This is Supercholatemilkshake, and I am here with another live stream. I seem to be very far back. I'm sorry about the disaster back here. I want to have this a bit more organized when it comes down to GMTK. And yes, I will be joining that this year. I have it allocated so that I would get some time off for that, so, you know, there's that. Let's see, I really wish this was over here, but bad news is, I can't have it over here, because this is a separate machine! Man. It might be an expensive setup, but maybe I might try capture carding both this and this monitor and then just having it broadcast over here so that it would be cheaper. And why is my mouse drifting on this thing? Oh yeah, that's because I have my mouse flipped upside down. Haha. Okay, yeah, you do not want to know the mess that I have for this setup. But anyway. Alright, I'm here. I'm live, and of course I am ready to work on it. So, or well, work on the Webleems engine. Anyway, so of course when it comes down to it, yeah, I'm trying to get some things set up here, and I'm trying to, well, of course, I'm developing the game alongside with it to make sure I can test everything as soon as I possibly can, but I haven't gotten to the testing initiative quite yet. I'm still got to, like, maybe the bare bone structure of figuring out the maths and such. I'll show you a little bit when I get to it, but I also had to figure out a very serious bug of recent, too, that I had, which had me slamming my head on the desk so hard that, honestly, I might as well have warped reality. So, if you're a giant elephant now, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, so, alright, let's get ourselves switched over to the ViewSonic here. There we go. Aha. My little test pop-up is still here, but I haven't really necessarily adjusted some of that stuff yet. So, anyway, this is basically some of the stuff that I got. This is actually for character controls and such, but, well, actually, no. This is for the characters themselves, the drawable characters, so that you can set it up to do whatever you need it to. But when it comes down to it, this is the character control right here, which basically I have to define as a class, because unfortunately I cannot do acceleration outside of a class. So when it comes down to it, and I have to define it multiple different times because I already tried doing it in value return, which is basically where most of my math is at. Point A, point B, less than 9. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, this is adaptable. Okay, yeah, that's right. This is just checking to see where a certain object is. You can't divide by 0. Okay. Oh, yeah. This is acceleration. This is stepping. This is lerping. I have no idea how to use lerp yet, so don't worry about that. Why is the bit rate so low? This card should be working just fine. Well, of course, I did buy a new card, but I plugged it in, but it won't work. I tried every single driver underneath the sun, and I still got nothing, so I may just unplug it. It may be causing interface issues. Let's see. Is that working? That bit roost up the bit rate just a bit? No? Good grief, I hate this. I hate this a lot. I mean, how do I get this to smooth out? How do I boost my internet? This sucks. And I know what day it is. Okay, guys? I understand that for some of you that live in a very particular country, it is a certain day, and I'm eating tacos on that very certain day, which is very unpatriotic of me, because I also happen to live in that same country within that certain day. But let's face it, I'm rebellious. Heck, I'm not even going to watch fireworks tonight. In fact, when it comes down to it, this live stream may be going up to midnight where I'm living because most of the neighbors around here have fireworks and they keep shooting them up until midnight, despite the fact that we have a fire ban going on. So I'm going to be up all night worried about the fact that they're going to be burning the whole freaking neighborhood down. Yippee! Right? I shouldn't be talking with my mouth full. But this taco's good. Oh yeah, and I bet you some of you are probably going like, didn't you say that you have GERD? And I'm like, yes. I did say I have GERD, but I don't think I have the type of GERD that is like the serious medical ailment that is permanent, you know? Because, again, it seems to be on and off. I think it's mostly a stress and an anxiety-ridden one, rather than being a complete and total acid reflux of the also stomach. It may just be my anxiety telling my stomach receptors, hey, make a ton of acid because you're stressed out. And it's causing a whole bunch of acid reflux and such, which, you know, doesn't necessarily help. I mean, of course, when it comes down to it, long walks do help with, but, you know. And again, it's on and off, and it doesn't seem to be affected by, like, garlic and such, which is weird, because garlic is supposed to trigger it, and some caffeine products also don't trigger it. I mean, heck, I've had RC Cola, which, yeah, I know I shouldn't be having it either, but when it comes down to it, like, that is, you know what? I think I'm going to blame the bitrate on the wind. It is blowing outside, okay? It really is. I may go back for seconds on tacos, though. Anyway. It is really blowing outside, and honestly, I think it's probably causing some issues with the bitrate. But anyway. Neither here nor there. So anyway, wait a second, constant return number? Wait. Oh, right, I remember, I was redefining the room data. Okay. That's right. There we go. So anyway, I also was designing an object controller here, which basically allows you for, well, basically adjusting the acceleration and stopping for the character. If you want your character to have like an accelerate but an instant stop, you can use this. If you want to have it actually, I've never really thought about negative. Well, then again, maybe you might want to do two separate ones. I'm not quite sure. I'm still figuring this out, okay, guys? It's still in its early stages. I still haven't gotten to the point where it's like engine yet, where, you know, you could just fire it up and then just start making games. No, it's still got a long ways to go. That's why I'm doing this. I'm just hoping that you guys paying attention to me might actually encourage me to get this finished and get this done. So anyway, I'm sorry if this is a little bit boring for you guys. And I'm also sorry if I have to be eating dinner at the same time. I guess you guys are getting some ASMR. Sorry. So anyway, like I said, I still got the bare bone structure here. I just need to get some of this implemented in a way. So basically, when it comes down to it, value return, character control. I don't think I was finished with this yet, was I? Actually, no, I was finished with it. Okay. Character object. This is what I was messing around with. Okay, so basically, here's the idea of what I was trying to go for with this. Basically, I was going to set up a view and a character object, which would be just a rectangle shape with a character, because They decided to remove constructors for sprites, but that's okay. I stopped using sprites a while ago anyway. This is probably just going to be more for sprite-based characters more than anything else, but I will probably work on the more advanced implementation when I get back to work on a car. And in case you're wondering what a car is, it's a vehicle it's a device that transports you around, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so basically it's the advanced character animation rig. Now, basically, it's abbreviated to a car. I mean, I'm not very good with these abbreviations. But. Anyway, like I said, when it comes down to it, it's basically a animation rig that I've been working on for a short little while now, just to allow you to animate and create characters within the engine itself. So basically, when it comes down to it, it is a bit of an animator, and it's an animation type software, but it will also store it in a form factor and a file factor that will be small, compact, and easy to compress down into smaller sizes and such. Or at least that's kind of the basic idea. Now, I don't know how well it's going to work out in practice, but for now, it's still... Well, right now I'm still working out the kinks, okay? I'm still trying to figure some of this stuff out. And you know what? When it comes down to it, I will be implementing it into the full engine, which of course I still have plans for that thing too. In fact, when it comes down to it, a lot of my plans are constantly evolving. Oh yes, I also wanted to put in mass for value return for 3D, but, well, I do not have that all set up yet, so... How many tabs do I have open? Yikes. I'm glad none of you are seeing that stream. I'm glad none of you are seeing this on stream. Okay, so 20,000K, okay. You know what? I'm just going to close out of this. Hopefully that might increase the bit rate. Let's see. Did it help? Did it help? Did it help? You know one thing I should probably also do? I should probably share this on Discord too, huh? There we go. There we go. Okay. So let's open up Discord on this computer, because I know I'm logged in. Hey, I got 313 subscribers. Woohoo! Alright, come on. Maybe I think our internet is moving slow today. I don't know what's going on. Ugh. And I probably should turn on some music for you guys too, huh? I should definitely do that. But I'm kind of worried because of how low my bitrate is. I think I'm just going to use Strawberry over here. Unfortunately, the only music I have on here that's not copyrighted is from Shadow Generations, if I remember correctly. Strawberry, there it is. Okay. Okay, new post. Also posting this on Blue Sky too, because why not? Post. Processing. Ooh. I don't post on Blue Sky very often. I really do need to start just doing that, you know? I think it was in playlist. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna post this underneath updates. Load! Oh, enter! Ah! My keyboard for that computer is all the way down here. There we go. Promotion. Actually, maybe I should just put this in work in progress show off since this is a work in progress. I don't know if I'm gonna get deleted for this or not. We'll see. Alright. Okay. Actually, this is keeping up fairly well. I mean, it doesn't look very smooth on my screen over here. Let's try this. Okay, this computer is keeping up. Yeah, the bitrate's kind of choppy, so it looks a little bad right now. I'm so sorry, folks. I did not mean to do that. My internet wasn't so all over the place. Again, I don't know if it's because of the wind or what, but let me leave this unmuted so I can check audio. Okay. Alright, I getcha, I getcha. Donate to Strawberry. I getcha. Look, I like Strawberry. I like it a lot. It's a fantastic substitution for Windows Media Player. Okay, it's not a perfect one, but it's a better substitution than most other media players I've used out there, so. Alright, let's get back to work, shall we? So anyway, what was I doing here? Oh, yes! Maybe I might finish up dinner here. Actually, I should probably eat nothing more than this, because, I mean, this is probably all I had to eat today, so. This is a good taco, though. This is a good taco. Anyway. So right now it looks like I'm having it set to character set view. So basically I just need a function that's a... Oh wait, no, I already got a function right up here. It says if character set view. I really do need to start commenting this, don't I? So anyway, okay, so basically I have character set view set as a public because I want that to be turned on and off by the user themselves. So of course when I implement it inside the engine, the game engine itself, it would be basically kind of like a toggle switch, basically. I mean, it will not be determined by anything else, any other environmental factors. It would just basically be like, yeah, the view is always locked into the center of the character, or at least is kind of locked into the center of the character. I think I might also put some extra character controls on that one. So actually, you know what? I should probably define that now, shouldn't I? Since I got character control over here, object controller, let's just go for rolling the view. Object. What did I call it? OBJ. Oh, OBJ controller. Okay, that's what I called it. Okay, then. View control. There we go. Semicolon, because that's basically like a period. And then, for controlling the character. I'm going to be setting these all in private so that nothing else edits them, okay? I mean, that's the basic idea. So, anyway. These are all contained within the class itself. So, I mean, yes, they will be determined by some external factors, like, for example, oh yeah, if a keyboard button is pressed, or a game controller button is pressed, but it will not be completely defined by that. It will still have a few of its own definitions. That's kind of the basic idea, is that nothing external can edit these. It's all got to be internally handled within the class itself, which of course can be called by external voids and other return functions, you know? So, with that out of the way, okay, so let's see here. We got, I'm sorry, the bitrate's still pretty low. At least it's getting back up to tight, and it seems to be bouncing around a lot, but according to YouTube, it's an average of 2,738.07 kilobits per second, which is probably way below standard for 1080p. I should have ran the test before I started this, shouldn't I? I feel so dumb. My name is Mud, okay, guys? My name is Mud, officially. I should have tested this a lot better than I before starting this. I'm sorry. So, OBJ controller. CH. Character control. There we go. There we go. Not to mention, I also probably might have set view, character sec view also determine if all the other views for other layers, or like for example, if I wanted to do parallax scrolling, is also locked to the character or not. So basically, you know, kind of like for example, Cowboy Boy Band. Basically, I kind of want to emulate what they did with the old Lucasfilm engines and such, or well, what Lucasfilm did with their engine, and what. I am forgetting what it was called again. Shoot me in the foot. Please, just shoot me in the foot. Anyway, okay, so basically like what Lucasfilm and Sierra did, basically, what their game engines. Basically what they did was they basically had like a bit of a 3D effect, where basically the character will go in and out of the background. Like, honestly, I kind of want to have something like that, and I also kind of want to have where they're, like, different layers for the objects so that the character will go behind them. I think that's kind of the whole basic idea behind this whole set view thing. If I have that off, then basically it will allow me to have the character on just, like, one screen, and the view can be controlled completely and totally freely without having to worry about the character. Of course, trying to organize the characters on the views is going to be a little bit tricky, but I do think there is a way of doing that, and, well, granted, I know it may be a little bit convoluted and a bit messy, but I think a switch statement may actually work very well with that, so, anyway. Anyway, I'm not blowing your guys' ears out, right? I gotta check. Okay, yeah, it's fine. Audio levels are fine. And it seems to be streaming kind of smoothly. It's not doing it perfectly, but, you know. I mean, hey, look, it's not designed for 1080p at the current moment. Though, one thing I'm probably going to have to do after eating dinner is go wash dishes, so I'm probably going to put you guys on a quick intermission, but we'll get where that started first. So anyway, and I'm sorry to bother you guys with the Shadow Generations music. I really do need to start copying over more music onto this computer and figuring out what's copyrighted and what isn't. In fact, when it comes down to it, I know that the entirety of the Roller Coaster Tycoon soundtrack is not copyrighted, so I know I can definitely stream that on stream and not get in trouble with it, but, you know. Yeah, and the repeat's on for this, right? Yeah, repeat and shuffle are on. Yeah, repeat playlist. And then, yeah, shuffle all. Okay, yeah, they're on. They're on. They weren't. Okay, then. anyway, my nose itches. Well, hey, look, at least I'm getting an average of 3,460 kilobits per second. So, I mean, hey, it's improving. It's improving gradually. I mean, as the wind starts to slow down just a bit. But anyway. And it looks like the frame rate's improving on this other machine here. So, I mean, there's a plus. Yeah, I think I should probably just invest in a better Wi-Fi card. I mean, the Bros Trend 1 works really great, okay? Don't get me wrong, but it has this computer that I just built not too long ago seems to have a few issues with it. Like, it's not perfect. Alright, so, outside of my pirated copy of Windows, yar! Shiver me timbers! Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yar har, shiver me tea. Being a pirate is all right can be. You know, it's funny how Lazy Town was a show that was completely made for kids, okay? Like, seriously, no joke. It was just made from the ground up just for kids. Nobody else. But it's so funny that the songs are so freaking good that even the adults like it. I mean, heck, we all know about the meme of, oh, we are number one. Remember when that used to go around? Ah, man, Carl Steffen, may he rest in peace. But then, of course, you know what? Earlier this morning, I also had somebody walk up to me and say, hey, you remind me of Robin Williams. And I'm like, please, don't make me cry. I miss Robin Williams greatly, okay? Like, honestly, he's a legend. And honestly, if he was around, yeah, he would definitely have a few things to say about what's going on right now. He'd be like, what the heck are you guys thinking? What a legend. What a trooper. I still miss the man. Anyway. Man, a lot of the good comedians really died in, like, the 2010s, and it's sad. Alright, so double accelerate. Oh yeah, and then of course I also did teleportation, didn't I? Though, unfortunately, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be able to get that to stick. We'll see. I think it's just player adjust, I think, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, let's go here. For the acceleration, add to increase. To decrease. No. Sure. Shit. Lock. Okay. Now, after getting my little moment of developer humor out of the way, alright. Hey, look, you gotta have some kind of sense of humor when you're doing this. Because otherwise, you'd practically go insane. Did my camera die? Did my camera die over here? My camera. Yeah, my camera died! It's locked. Alright, I'm gonna do something that's gonna be really crazy here. Haha! We got it! Okay. It's been reset! It's back to working! Yay! Oh my gosh! I mean, it's not like it's dying because the battery's dying in it. I think I've already fixed that problem. It's just dying because it... well, I don't know. I don't know what exactly happened there, but it just froze up. I think it's a Linux issue, really. Yeah, I know. I mean, I like the operating system. It's just got its quirks. And, you know, I'm running on Arch. So, basically, I'm just running with the bare bones version of Linux, you know? The version that, you know, you get to define what you have inside your system. And not the, people that made the system itself. Though, granted, to be fair, I still think Linux Mint is actually fantastic. It's still up there in the best, in terms of the best. I like Arch just a little bit more, but it's not like I like it that much. better than Mint. And by the way, yes, I do think these kind of top Windows sometimes. Not all the time, because you know what, let's face it, Windows is still kind of penultimate, especially when you look back at the 7 era and the XP era, when they were basically just getting them down pat. And, you know, they knew what they were doing when they were creating their operating systems, Microsoft was. But now they're just like, nope! You need forced AI! You need all this! You need updates forced on you all the time! You need... Stop, Microsoft, please. Look, the only reason why I'm using Windows 10 through a VM is because you still happen to have one of the best... one of the best IDE... what do they call it? IDE? Developer Interfaces? Developer Interface Environment, I think? That's what it was called? I forget, but still. They have one of the best IDEs out there. And you know what? It's only available through Windows. Because Microsoft code, sure, it's alright. It works fine the way it is, but, like, I have a hard time setting up projects with that thing. And also, CMake, I barely touch. Like, I barely use CMake. I'll only use it if I have to. But that's it. Like, I will not use CMake whatsoever. And yeah, like, that's kind of my big... I mean, maybe I'm crazy for not using CMake. Am I crazy for not using CMake? I don't know. I know it's probably one of the better... It is one of the better versions of compilers out there. And, you know, it has its use cases. And honestly, it's a good cross-platform compiler, too. But honestly, like, I'm just going to stick with what I'm best with. And even if I have to VM it through a pirated copy of Windows, I will do it. So, you know. Alright, so now that we got the object controllers out of the way, so I'm just gonna go doopity-doo, doopity-doo, doopity-doo. Okay, so what I need... Don't you hate it when your brain draws blanks like that? It's like, oh yeah, I need this. Okay, tell me, what do I need? What do I need? And then later on tonight, when I'm trying to go to sleep, hey John, you need this. Yeah! Shut up! Yeah. Alright. Whew. Brain, work, please, for 5 seconds. Okay, I think I got it figured out what I need. What I need is a void. I think I got a little bit of sauce on the keyboard. When did that happen? It's actually not bad, actually. That's pretty good. But I shouldn't be licking sauce off my keyboard. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna pick up the keyboard and I'm just gonna... I wonder how many people are probably gonna find me weird because I'm doing this. Oh, that explains a lot. Oh, probably should turn on my num block too. I don't know why my computer does this, but... Oh. I don't know why my computer does this, but I have it set so that numlock is supposed to turn on automatically, and... Okay, yeah, no, I hate gravity too, okay, guys? Just so you know. Gravity sucks sometimes. Honestly, I kind of wish it would stop working for at least 5 seconds. What is the point of these frickin' razors if they don't do their job? Huh? What do I pay them for? Well, actually, I don't pay them at all. Maybe that's why they don't do their jobs, because we don't pay them anymore. You know what? To tell you the truth, I mean, it would be just kind of nice if they just made like a little hinge and then they just put like a metal rod inside there and then they screwed it up inside the keyboard so that way it wouldn't fall off so easily instead of having whatever the heck this clip system is. I mean, you know, it's a simple solution, and honestly, it wouldn't break so easily either. And people who want to have their keyboard elevated just a little bit would be able to have their keyboard elevated just a little bit, you know? Like, how hard, how bad could that be? I think these companies just try to go for the cheapest possible solution, and, you know, that's kind of what drives me nuts about it, is that they go for the cheapest possible solutions. And, you know, like, it's never a good idea to go for that sometimes. It causes issues, it causes problems with life and people and other things, and, you know, that's just kind of where a lot of people go like, yeah, this causes e-waste, and I agree with that. I hopefully agree with that, okay? You know what I mean? Don't let anybody else convince you otherwise. So, where was I? Oh yeah, also I am making a bit of a serious mistake with this too. I should probably have something defined there. There we go, move character. Actually, I should probably have controls defined there, so... Ooh. Oh. Actually, we need an ampersand in front of that because it's got to be modifiable. Can't put the ampersand in the middle though, that does not work. Ooh. Down. Whoa! That's not how you spell down, John. D-O-W-N. There we go. Bool. Left. Bool. Right. And we're just gonna go... Yippee. Yippee. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I might want to adjust something in the value return, because I think it's something about this double check 0. Actually, this should be a Boolean operator, shouldn't it? Wait a second. Maybe if we shouldn't call that check 0, maybe we should call it check difference. Then we could do, but then of course in that case I'd probably be better off in the class, wouldn't it? Yeah, well, never mind. I actually think I created some other operators for other things too, so we'll just run with it. D-O-U-B. Oh no. Cool. Check 0. Be free. To resist it over time when it's just too much to sneak you take up from behind. Is it me you say you're looking for? Sorry. Show you who I am and what I'm here for. Okay, so we're gonna go if check difference is 0, then return 0. Actually, return 1. Well, actually, I could just put down this TRUE. That's a value too, because basically that's what a Boolean operator is, just true and false. Just in case you're wondering. Oh, and one by one they all become a number as they fall. Son, I can't take no more. All become a black mark on the floor. Say, they're looking for. Let me show you who I am and what I'm here for. Whoa, what I got in store? Ah, shoot, I messed that up. I'm sorry. I am so sorry, folks. Okay, so now check 0, which would work on check difference to see if it's 0. If, oh, shoot. I still need point A and point B, don't I? Let me show you just... I think Windows crashed. I'm just like, Windows, I'm waiting for you to crash! Oh, wait. I think I should probably put point ampersand underneath point B, shouldn't I? Nah, it's okay. It should be fine. It should be fine. Point A, point B. Actually, no. We're doing an ampersand. We're doing an ampersand. We're going to go with an ampersand because I think it's going to be a value that will be constantly changing. And honestly, I need to keep up with this. What the heck is up with this? Okay, there we go. Now we got it. Okay. Okay. But I'll have check difference also just in case I still need it outside and externally. So basically when it does check 0... Actually, you know what? Maybe you can use both of these in tandem when you think about it. Because, of course, we could go like, check 0. Okay, so, is it negative or positive? So basically it'd be like, check 0. If it is true, then don't worry about it. But if it's false, then check to see if it's negative and positive. If it's negative, then we gotta add to get back up to 0. If it's positive, then we gotta subtract to get back to 0. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm mathing? You know what I'm mathing? Do math, kids. It's cool. Not meth. I meant math. Meth is gonna make your teeth fall out. Or was that gonna make your teeth fall out? I don't know. I'm getting my drugs confused. Either way, don't do meth. Do math. Don't you hate when you lose your train of thought like this? Especially when you are trying to do a very positive, uplifting message. Okay, so, the ba-ba-da, ba-da-ba-dee-doo-ba, ba-be-da-boo-da-boo-da-be-dee-doo-dee-da, dee-da, 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 ba-ba-ba. Okay, so basically I'm going to have set view, I'm going to have the view be completely and totally unlocked. I actually kind of want to make it so that the view can also be adjusted manually too if need be, because, well, then again, maybe you don't need to have it adjusted manually, because again, if I don't have the view set, then honestly there's no point in adjusting it manually. Then again, there are a lot of people who do like to do out-of-bounds stuff and a lot of camera stuff. Maybe I should have a function for that, just because of them. Yeah, you know what? I should. Okay then, so we're just gonna go... Move Cam Man! Move Cam Man! Move Cam Man! Man. My speech isn't as good as it used to be. So we're just gonna go for if the setting of the camera is independent from the player. And I'm gonna go bool. I'll have it set to false by default, but I'm just gonna go if keyboard please don't tell Boundary Break that I'm doing this, okay? Or what was the channel's name? She says? I don't know. If you're watching this, hey, you're awesome, man. But anyway, please don't tell them that I'm doing this, okay? And if you're watching this, forget that I'm doing this, okay? So you don't immediately find it. Keyboard. Key. Let's make it a key that you're probably less likely to press. I mean, I know F1 is common, but, you know, that's a help key. And honestly, I kind of want to bring up help, even if it's a joke. So, what would be a key that you wouldn't commonly press? Insert would be one. F12? You don't really necessarily need F12. Wait, there's an F13, 14, 15... G... Grave? What the heck is the grave key? Oh... I think... Oh... Okay. Okay, I think I know what this is now. H, home, hyphen... Nobody really uses the hyphen, do they? Then again, maybe I should keep moving. Insert. Nobody really uses insert. Everybody presses that one by accident. And then they wonder, why on earth is all this text getting removed as I type more text into it? That's because of the fact that you have the insert key on. And you probably didn't realize you pressed it. Well, thankfully, yeah. This IDE lets me know if insert's on, but... So, maybe not insert, though, because I think that might cause a lot of issues with people. L-alt? No. L-bracket? No. Well, L-alt I can't necessarily use, because I'll be using that for controls. Actually, tell you the truth, I'm kind of going to go ambidextrous with the keyboard and go like, left alt, right alt, both can be viable. Left control, right control, that both will be viable. Left shift, right shift, yeah, both viable. Oh yeah, there are two system keys too, yeah. It wouldn't matter if it's left or right either. Though honestly, I don't think I would use the system keys either because I know what that's going to bring up, so... that wouldn't be a good idea. Number pads... No. Page down? People very rarely use the page down and page up keys, and I mean, I know what they're for. I mean, basically they're for, like, scrolling through text. Back in the Commodore and the, early days of computing, basically, I wonder if actually, there was some issue. Well, yeah, back in the early days of computing, basically, there was no scroll wheel or anything like that, so basically people had to use these little keys that are known as page up and page down. Nobody's removed them because of the fact that they actually still kind of have their use cases anyway, but that's neither here nor there. Should I go with page down or page up? Or should I go with something different? Pause. There's a pause key? There's a pause key on the keyboard? I do not know. Q, R, R, Alt, Shift, semicolon, slash, backspace, subtract, T, unknown. What the heck is the unknown key? Up, down and all around, W, V, W, X, Y, Z. Okay, so I went through all the keys. Let's... You know what? I'm going to set this to page up. Because why not? That sounds like fun. We're going to do a quick check. If recap... So if free cam is true, then we're gonna go. We're gonna do. Okay, we need to reset the camera back to player position. So let's see. Oh yeah, I guess we could just go like Okay, player view, right? Char view. Char view. Set center. Which is char object. Get position. Actually, I feel like maybe I should do a little bit of math here. So we'll go. Well, then again, maybe I should. Because you know what? I'm probably going to be setting the position into center anyway for the character anyway. So we're just going to go like if we set up character, it's always going to be like this very center of the main character anyway, because I don't think that would be necessarily a bad idea. And then it would be that the camera is always locked on to center. But of course, get position. We'll just leave it at that. And then free cam equals false. F-A-L-S-E. Falser! There's no such thing as falser! There's no such word! Else. Free cam equals true. There we go. And then we're just going to set a parameter saying if free cam actually, I should probably copy over these Boolean operators. Heroes rise again. Alright, there we go. Now that we got those Boolean operators moved over, my armpit is itchy. There we go. Get a little bit of air movement in here. Oh man, that feels so much better already. That feels so much better. Okay. Okay, I just need to get myself focused back on here. So, basically with the free cam function, you could basically go if... Okay, so basically we're just gonna go... Okay, give me a second here, I just need to do something here. Actually, do I have to... Maybe I should do this. There we go. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work at all. Okay, so... Form move. I found my phone! Independently from the... I haven't been able to crack multiplayer yet, but sooner or later I'll do split screen. I'll update it to do split screen someday, but not right now. I think a multiplayer game for, I hear it somewhere, I just can't see it. Aha! Found it! Now we can shut up Stanley by pressing the 8 button. We'll prevent Stanley from pressing the 8 button ever again. Alrighty then. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna pick up some of this. I have a nasty habit of keeping glasses on my desk. I really need to stop. It's an unhealthy habit. Actually, I should probably put this on intermission while I do this. Give me a second. Oh, bow your heads, the pale shadow. Okay, I'm so sorry. That intermission ended up being a little bit longer than intended. I am so sorry about that, folks. Hopefully you didn't miss too much. Or hopefully you guys didn't feel like you missed too much. Actually, I should probably turn on this light so we can get rid of this eerie blue glow. Okay, give me a quick second. It got darker. It got darker. The fireworks are probably going to start soon. Unfortunately, the wind calmed down too. Actually, tell you the truth, it went back to having excellent connection again. Oh, it's actually back to straight doing bad. Ooh. 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 Okay then. Okay, there we go. Now, okay. Alright, I think we should get back to work, shall we? Alright. Yeah, that's a bit right, tanks. Of course it does, because there's more motion going on the screen, isn't there? He likes my intermission more than it likes me. That's upsetting. That is gravely upsetting. Let's get back to work. I mean, it sounds like it's streaming just fine. I mean, I hope it's not, like, jumping all over the place like it is. Ugh. Yeah, I really do need to invest in a better Wi-Fi card. I'm looking at it back to my own feedback, and it's like, yeah, nope, I need to get a better Wi-Fi card for this thing. Anyway. Okay, so, now what are they doing? Free cam. Okay, yes I was. I mean, okay, I don't know why I'm specifically programming this, but you know what? It'd also probably be a good way of testing things out too, like, you know, checking to see if NPCs are moving off the screen or not, if locations being stored properly, and other such too. So it's a developer feature as well. That'd probably be left in intentionally for, you know what? Gunters of off-screen fun stuff want to use, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Oh. Anyway. Fireworks are probably going to start soon, so I think that's probably going to cause some, it's going to go make some noise, which, you know, it's not going to be very fun, but oh well. Oh yeah, that's right. That's on a different machine. I forgot. So anyway, so for the free cam, I am going to start off with caramba. So I need some Boolean operators that will translate, will not reset to 0. We'll wing it. We'll just see what happens. So anyway, so for the free cam, if it's true, then of course, if actually, no, we can still do that. Okay, so if up is pressed, then any increase, so basically we go what did I call it? View control. Okay. Dot position dot I believe it was Y. Equals. Well, actually, we'll go plus equals because we're adding on to it. And we're gonna go ba 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 da ba. Actually, we'll go 2 times. What did I call it over here? God grief. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was not underneath that. It was... Okay. View control. Increase. We'll go 0.0. Actually, wait. No. We need frame adjust. Oh, shoot. I think we'll ampersand this one too, because... Okay, so we're just gonna go... Frame value, there we go, and then we're just gonna go... Oh wait, actually, what am I doing? Frame value is the overall total, so that would be 0.05, there we go, and then we're gonna go frame... Adjust, there we go, and of course we're gonna go the trigger, which would be up. Down. And of course we're going to be doing the opposite. Actually, never mind. Wait, no, it would be the opposite directions, wouldn't it? Maybe it isn't. Because I'm not moving the map around, I'm moving the world around. So that would make more sense. There we go. If left, I'm gonna change Y to X. Oh yes, and I need to change up several turns too, yeah. There we go. And there we go. We got our free camera programmed in. Hooray! So now, people from like Boundary Break or Horoscope could actually, or Fusion Z Gamer, because I know he does that too, could use it. Hooray! But I'm not going to tell you what the key is directly, because you know what? That'd be cheating. Even though you probably could see it from there. Well, depending upon how bad the bitrate looks on you, on your guys' end. But I'm not going to check right now, okay? Right now, the bitrate is looking so terrible that my computer's just having a hard time receiving the stream. Oy! Ugh. Okay, new character. I really do need to get this hammered out. I really do. Try review dot. There we go. I feel like my streams are a little boring. Don't ask me what gives me that feeling. I really think they might be boring. Because again, I've seen people pop on and off with this, but nobody's really seemed to have kept interest or kept watching, so I don't know. Maybe they're just checking in on me every once in a while. I'm not quite sure, but either way. You make const. Why do I want to make daylight constant? Anyway. Oh, wait, actually. Chart object dot set position. There we go. And then char control dot position. Okay, what's up here? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot! You don't need a pointer with that. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. I don't need class in front of that. Move type instant. Accelerate in. Accelerate out. Teleport. There we go. You know, I'm trying hard not to let my lack of confidence get the better of me here. Because, you know, something inside me is telling me that I want to end this stream right now. And again, I mean, I know I shouldn't necessarily force myself into doing something that, honestly, I don't necessarily agree with. But then, of course, you know, there's also something inside me that's also wondering what's the point of the stream, because nobody's really watching, nobody's really interacting with me, nobody's saying anything, and nobody's really liked the stream yet, so, you know, there's that. And I know that deep down inside, it almost makes me feel like a pathetic loser. I still keep going with it because I just want to keep going with it. And, you know, in this case, it's like I am sitting back and pondering life. You know what? Maybe I should just switch the camera around to face cam only. There we go. So, you know, I can contemplate this just a little bit better because, you know, I think that's an issue of mine, actually. You know what? I'm just going to contemplate this right now because I have a lack of confidence, okay? Like, seriously, I am so unconfident in myself that sometimes when I post up a video, I'm just worried that it's going to bomb. Ultimately, nobody's going to like it, and nobody's really going to watch it. It's like when the... that one video that I made about the having an existential crisis at 5 a.m. Like, that video. Well, if anybody remembers that video and anybody was there for that video, like, I think everybody pretty much knows that I actually did not expect that video to perform as well as it did. I've mentioned this before on this channel before, but you know what? I kind of want to mention this again because, again, I was thinking, yeah, people are probably just going to watch. It's going to be subpar, and really, it's not that great of a video either. It was very terribly shot. The camera was a little bit off frame and all that other stuff. And honestly, it wasn't my best work. In fact, when it comes down to it, I have done way better on this channel. And you know what? Even then, I feel like I could probably do far, far better, too. Like, you know, that's something I will admit. I'm not keeping up with a lot of these other YouTubers, too, who basically do all these kinds of crazy stuff, you know? Like, honestly, they're doing things that I wish I could do. Like having live streams with more people watching. You know? And I mean, I know I shouldn't be comparing myself to them, but, you know, at the same time, it's like, it's unavoidable. It's hard to avoid it, you know? But, you know, it's like trying to push myself forward in life. It's like I sometimes have a hard time seeing any other direction for myself. I mean, it's probably part of the reason why I don't have a girlfriend yet. Because, you know what? When it comes down to it, I mean, I would love to be dating somebody right now. I would love to, you know, have somebody that, you know what, I don't mind turning around to and, you know, having to unload and, you know, cuddle with me every once in a while. It's part of the reason why I think I'm addicted to so much ASMR, where it's like, oh yeah, girlfriend ASMR, where basically they just pretend to be your girlfriend, and honestly, the worst part is waking up and realizing it wasn't real. You know? Like, it'd be nice to have somebody to, you know, just be next to you and whisper you and tell you it's gonna be okay, you know? I think the biggest issues with me... The biggest issues with me currently is that, you know what, I just don't feel confident enough, and I've been kind of slammed down so many times inside my life that I can't feel confident in myself anymore. Though, granted, there are some things that I'm a little more confident at than others, like, for example, this whole GMTK thing. Like, I know I wouldn't have joined it if I wasn't feeling confident about it, or, you know, confident about it, you know? If I didn't feel like I, you know, couldn't do it, or it was out of my ability, you know? Like, I'm grateful that I am able to join it, and I was able to do things, but at the same time, it's like, sometimes I start to wonder why I'm even doing it anymore either. Because I've been doing far worse compared to each and every year I've joined. Like, the first year, I didn't do too bad. I mean, out of like 5,000 games, I got like top 2,000, somewhere around that. And that wasn't that bad. I mean, sure, wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad either for my first outing. And then every single outing after that, it seems to have gotten worse, except for Dai T. That one I never released. But then, of course, you know what? Maybe it was a good thing I never released, because Roll the Dice was a bad theme in the first place. I mean, I think that was probably the first theme that was really bad for GMTK. And you know what? Even he admitted to. Even Mark Brown, the guy who hosts the jam normally, admitted to it. Like, it was a bad idea to just go with Roll the Dice. And to move that over. There we go. But anyway, like, he admitted to the fact that it was a bad idea to go for that theme. And honestly, to be fair, like, did that switch them to, like, fade to blink? Oh, good grief. Hopefully I'm not getting anybody seizures. There. There we go. Now we got it. Ugh. Okay, I got that fixed now. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, back to what I was saying. I forget what I was talking about. I lost my train of thought. Ugh. Sorry if I have that weird habit of having to reach underneath my shirt to scratch. Maybe that's stuff like that makes me feel like I'm out of place too. Being aware of it too makes me feel completely out of place, and it doesn't help. But anyway. Anyway, so, yeah, I think that's what I was talking about when I went to go fix my blinking light issue. Was, you know, like I said, I have more confidence in other things than most. And, you know, YouTube I barely have any confidence in because, you know, I mean, to tell you the truth, I'm kind of lucky to be where I'm at this current moment. And you know what? I thank all of you guys for this opportunity to be right here at this current moment. But, you know, it still doesn't necessarily mean that I have all that. And, you know, I mean, that's probably part of the reason why I posted a poll asking if people would want to see me live stream over to Itch every now and then. Because, I mean, I know Itch has some fairly generous policies compared to YouTube. And it's easier to find people on Itch than it is on YouTube in general. But then, of course, you know, I also happen to have that named as the full Supercholatemilkshake name and not just the SUCHMISH like this channel has, because, you know, that's also another issue too. My username is kind of a double-edged sword here. Like, it's unique and distinct where people will memorize it, but the only issue is that every single time you go to search it up, because it's supposed to have no spaces in it, YouTube and Google are both notorious for this. They always put spaces every single time into Supercholatemilkshake. Every single time. And it annoys the living daylights out of me. Oh yes, and want to know what's even worse? They have a "did you mean" right at the very top. And want to know how pathetically small it is? It's ridiculously small. It is easy to miss. Like, by this point, it's like it's easier to tell people to search up SUCHMISH than it would be to search up Supercholatemilkshake as one word. That's part of the reason why the channel's called SUCHMISH. But again, like I said, I kind of have a bit of a lack of confidence with that because I'm scared of what might happen, you know? I mean, okay, I shouldn't be scared of what happens because, you know what, when it comes down to it, that's the future, and honestly, it hasn't happened yet. This is now, and I need to be focused on now. But again, that's part of my issue, too, is that, you know, like, I'm scared of also screwing it up now. Because I'm not a perfect person in any way, shape, or form. In fact, if anything, I'm anything but a perfect person. And heck, I mean, even if I was dating a girl, I'd probably look at her and go like, look, if you're expecting perfection, you're already expecting too much. Okay? If you want a perfect guy, I am not a perfect guy, okay? I mean, you're not going to be the perfect girl either, but you know what? Nobody's perfect, okay? We'll just admit to that. I think this would be a big, huge mistake to mention while dating. And see where I have my lack of confidence? It's like, yeah, I would love to tell her that, hey, I am not a perfect guy, but I'm not expecting you to be perfect either. That might actually be a little more realistic, and actually she might accept that. But I don't know. It's up in the air. Like, again, I don't want to try and be a perfect person for her either, because that's going to wear me out. Like, it will wear me thin. It will wear me dry. I can't necessarily always be a perfect person for everybody. And, you know, like, here I am trying to please absolutely everybody that I can and wearing myself thin for this. And you know what? It's also causing issues with myself. Like, here's the thing. People pleasing is... It's not a bad thing to do. I mean, like, you gotta do it. Like, it's understandable why you have to do it and why it's important to do. But at the same time, like, it's also understandable where you have to realize, hey, I gotta stop and take care of myself. I gotta stop and do this kind of stuff. I gotta stop and do something for myself. I can't just keep doing things for other people, you know? Because to do that over and over and over again is a self-destructive cycle. It wears you thin, it wears you down, because you are so busy trying to please that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, when technically you can't please everybody. And you know, it only makes you upset deep down inside, because when you're not pleasing everybody, or is pleasing specific people, you're, well, technically, like, you start questioning your own existence. Like, what am I here? What am I good for? What am I doing here? You know? And it builds up a pressure, and sometimes it makes anxiety, and it can drive you nuts. It can drive you mad. And, you know, that's something that I think I would have to be wary about and warn other people, is that don't become people pleasers, okay? And honestly, when it comes down to it, I mean, if I had a girlfriend, like, I would hope that she doesn't expect me to be a people pleaser. I don't want her to be a people pleaser either. I don't want her to always please me either. Good relationships usually tend to have some kind of conflict with them sometimes. Like, don't ever expect perfection from a relationship, because when you do that, you're already expecting way too much. Like, you're already asking way too much for this person, and not enough. And, you know, you're also asking way too much from yourself, too. Like, honestly, it's better to be chill and relax and, you know, talk to each other and just be calm. Don't expect, like, them to say everything that you want them to hear. Or don't expect to say everything that they expect you to hear. Or don't expect them to say everything that you want to hear either. Because, you know, that's not what life is about. Life is random. It's difficult. It's hard to explain. It's hard to grasp. It's hard to, you know, like, I don't know how else to describe it. I don't even know how to explain it. But, you know, like, life is different. It's all kinds of different directions, and yet still stationary all at the same time, and constantly moving, constantly coming to us, but also going at the same time, while also still being here. Oh, sounds like they're going off at fireworks now. Yippee. Anyway, but, you know, like I said, that's kind of what life is like. It's about, it's got a tempest, it's got a sea, and, you know, like, you gotta keep fighting, because if you stop fighting, of course you're gonna start drowning. Of course you're gonna get knocked overboard and, you know what, drown inside the big, deep blue sea that's called life. And, you know, you don't do it quickly either. You take a very, very long time at it. Like, this is also why you should probably set up some kind of life preserver for yourself. Or, you know what, swim, and swim harder, and swim for the nearest plot of land. Any kind of comfort that you have in your life, you know? Though, I know this could also be a little too far and be taken as a complete and total obsession because, well, it can. I mean, it just can. Like, people get addicted to things because that's where they find their comfort at. And, you know, that's part of the reason why addictions form. The only way to stop getting people addicted is to, well, basically, it's a root problem, to be honest. It is a problem that stems from quite literally deep within society itself. Like, I mean, I was thinking about it earlier today, okay? Like, when I was at work, and actually, tell you the truth, it was like during a very crazy hour this morning when a whole bunch of people who were absolutely, I don't want to talk about it, okay? I try to keep some of my relationships between me and my customers personal, but you know what? There were some very, very dumb orders and dumb things happening with some of these orders, okay? Like, I had a guy asking for like half and half, and I was like, okay, how much cream would you like inside that? And he's like, no, half and half. How much cream inside of it? Half and half is cream, basically. I mean, here's the thing, like, cream and half, both are pretty much the same thing. And I mean, I don't know if, like, half and half is that much different from cream, because all I know is that by themselves, half and half and cream taste terrible. Just by themselves. You gotta have something else inside of them, you know? I mean, it's not like whole milk, where basically it is really delicious. It's not, no. It's quite literally just like most of the more solid stuff, or the more thicker stuff of the milk. And again, it tastes terrible just by itself. It needs something else with it. And again, that's kind of the issue. And see, that's the thing that I would like to point out. And again, it's not just the only thing, too. People were making orders after I rang them out. There were people who also wanted to adjust their order shortly after paying. You know? Like, I could just magically make them unpay, and then I could fix their order afterwards. I'm sorry, I don't do last-second adjustments like that. If I was a wizard, well, actually, I wouldn't be working there at all, because you know what? That job would be way too easy. But, you know, like, I was just, like, down in the dumps because all these people were just pulling up, and they weren't being necessarily smart or intelligent, and I was sitting there wondering, what is the point of my life? Okay, what am I doing? I am getting sick and tired of this. Why am I here? Like, in fact, at this point, I had some severe chest pain going on, and probably just due to the stress of it overall. Like, that's probably part of the problem. I don't have it right now, and again, that's kind of the thing where it's like, I don't think it's GERD 100%. It's just the standard acid reflux that is caused by a lot of stress and a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety, and probably some burnout too, more than likely, because I'm also very tired, and, you know, there has been moments where I've been sitting in this chair in general, and I've almost nodded off. Or I've nodded off quite a few times, when I technically shouldn't be, and I should be working on other things and some other projects. Like, for example, the month of scares. I haven't started working on it yet. I need to get that area cleaned off and replaced with horror stuff so that I could start recording for the month of scares again. I also need to start working on the banner, because, actually, tell you the truth, I probably should show you what I got for the banner right now. Because, you know what, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm just going to fire up Kirita. I'm going to move this over here. Oh, sweet. It's supporting me. Cool. Anyway, Month of Scares animation. There we go. Well, not animation, banner. I already showed you the storyboard for the animation, but... Alright, here we go. I'm sorry if the pixel count is kind of low here. But there goes more fireworks. Hopefully it's not coming from the neighbor's house. If it's coming from the neighbor's house, then yeah, I'm going to be concerned, because there's a lot of dry grass out there. There we go. See, this is kind of what I got done so far. I only got the vampire shake, and I only got the main shake. I don't have any of the other shakes on here yet, but I do have the space reserved. Oh, hi, Jasmine. Are you coming in here to check you up on me? Jasmine? You okay, girl? Jasmine? Jasmine? Hi, Jazzy. Hi, Jazzy, Jazz. Hi, Jasmine. I'm trying to get her to look up, but she's not looking at me. She's looking somewhere else. Where are you going? Okay. Jasmine, hi! You doing okay, girl? Woo! Your breath smells like dog food. Yeah, this is Jasmine. If some of you guys haven't met her yet, this is Jasmine. She is a good girl, okay? We used to have a brother for her. His name was Hero. He was a good dog too, wasn't he? Yeah. I think the fireworks got her on edge. It's okay, I can understand. Like I said, if the neighbors are firing them off, then yeah, it's more than likely. I don't know why she comes crying to me, but she usually does. I mean, she's a good girl. You're a good girl, Jasmine. You're a good girl. You a good girl? Jasmine. Jasmine. I understand the fireworks. She needs some comfort. She needs some comfort right now. Look, you know what? She usually comes crying to me, probably because I'm the only person who will get her comfort. I have no problem with that. Good. Are you comforted enough? Okay. See you later, Jasmine. She's a good girl. She is a good girl. She was a bit of a troublemaker at first. I have to admit, she was. But you know what? She turned out to be a good dog for all of us. We all love her. We all have our deep feeling for her. And you know what? I don't think any of us would have had it any other way. We all kind of just grew attached to her, and she was supposed to be somebody else's dog, really. Yeah, we were supposed to be the transition house for her, to help her find a new family and to help her get moved into a different place, but instead we just all kind of grew attached to her, so she just sort of became the family dog. And you know, sure, she's not perfect, she has her quirks, but you know what? She's still a good dog, okay? And you know what? I don't think I would have had it any other way. She kind of helped when, you know, after Hero died. She helped with a lot of the cushioning of that. And she also helped with a lot of the cushioning with, you know, my grandpa's death. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Last year was a rough year. Especially towards the end. Like, everything that happened last year was terrible. Especially for me, because, you know, like, it was hell. I mean, I do miss him. I still look at his memoriam because, you know, from his celebration of life. And I don't know how he feels about me. I don't know how any of my grandpas feel about me, or my career choice, or where I want to go with life, or what I'm doing right now, or, you know, me feeling absolutely pathetic and, you know, having a hard time trying to process all of this. I mean, I think that's kind of an issue with me and my lack of confidence. And this is not a good song for this type of conversation. Can I pause the music? Is it right to pause the music? Okay, I hope it's alright for you guys if I pause the music for a second, because, like, this is a processing a lot type of thing. Again, I'm not quite sure how they feel about me right now, or as a person, or my career choices, or what I would like to do with life, or where I would like to go. Because I feel directionless. I'm gonna be honest. I feel completely and totally directionless. Like, I like all these things. I like designing games. I like drawing characters. I like drawing, period. I also like reading. I like writing. I like... Sometimes I even like doing auto mechanics. Is that a bug on my monitor? That's a bug on my monitor. Good grief. How do I keep getting these things? Probably because my room's a mess. Like, I think you guys were kind of seeing... That sounded very close. Shit, the neighbors are shooting off fireworks. I really want to shoot them. It's Wyoming. It's legal. We have guns out here, you know. And look, I mean, I am not a hardcore Republican, but you know what? I will still stick by my guns because it is a Second Amendment right. I am not afraid to use them. I have them as last resorts. I mean, I don't know if it's like, again, downtown or not. I'll have to take a look out the window just to see, but, you know, again. Anyway, I still wanted to have that moment of solemnness with you guys and, you know, be open and say that, you know, again, I'm not quite sure how confident I feel about myself and doing most of this stuff. Like, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to find the confidence within yourself. ADHD makes it harder. And it shouldn't. Like, it should be easy. It should be like, you know, I have it figured out. But I don't. I don't have all the answers. I mean, I know that's something that a lot of people do usually tend to never, like, realize or think about. But it's like, you never have all the answers. There is no correct answer. There is no right way of doing things, but at the same time, like with all this morally gray, where do you find your line? Where do you find you? And again, like, this is kind of where I think society has kind of wrecked me completely and totally. Like, as of no offense to anybody who actually likes our society the way it is, not that it really matters because our society sucks. That I'll say for free, and I think there's a lot of people out there that would agree with me. Doesn't matter what side of the spectrum they're coming from, but, you know, like, if I had to say anything, like I said, society can definitely ruin me, and, you know, it's part of the reason why I think I tried to quit Taco John's in the first place, and why I also have my issues with all the chest pains that I'm having, and the GERD issues, because I don't think it's an issue of... It's not an issue... It's not an issue of my valves opening or closing in any way, shape, or form. I think it's more of an issue of my acid pumps. I think that's what they call them. There's a specific doctorate name for them, but I'm not quite sure. I did quite a bit of research into this, too. I think it's like my brain is telling my stomach to produce more acid because I'm constantly stressed. And usually when I get stressed, too, I usually tend to overeat. Especially when I get super, super stressed. I mean, I've been trying to cut back on it as much as I possibly can, but I also think that's going to be dangerous for me, too, in the near future. But, like, when I'm stressed, it's like it's hard to focus on things and it's hard to do things properly, and I think that's part of what causes the pain inside my chest. I'm not feeling stressed right now, at least. I mean, this is kind of like getting a weight off my chest, so if you're watching this, I'm thankful for it. Again, it's like hard to say. I got a lot of confidence issues. It's like, I don't know what to say. Again, and I'm also kind of worried about GMTK too, because right now inside my brain I'm thinking, yeah, I'm probably going to fail, I'm probably going to fail, I'm probably going to fail. I'm going to fail so hard that, I mean, I shouldn't have that mindset at all. I should be like going like, yeah, I need to succeed, I need to succeed, I need to succeed. But, you know, that's not how, I know that's not going to make me a success. Just because I tell myself I'm a success doesn't mean I am a success, because I'm not. I still got a dad that looks down on me and thinks that I'm a pathetic loser and a wimp, and, you know, who can't get his shit straight and can't get his life organized and can't necessarily do anything proper for himself or do anything for himself in that matter. Actually, tell you the truth, he actually thought that my room has been messy since March. Actually, tell you the truth, he thinks that my room has always been constantly messy, even though technically I have cleaned it at least once or twice in June. And heck, I even recorded that. I recorded it the first time, and I also recorded the second part the second time, too. I didn't necessarily record everything where I got everything in behind me back where it was, where I got everything into the closet, but, maybe I should adjust my camera over just a little bit, because I feel like it's a little off-center. Is that good? Is that better for you folks? Does that work? Yeah, I think that feels a little more center for everybody. Even though my bookshelf is behind my head. I don't know what I can do to adjust that. I'm sorry. I mean, I guess I could get a razor for the bookshelf, but it'd probably cover the Ice Cream Avenue, the Avenue, and the Milkshake Road type of thing, Or wait, was it Drive? It was Drive, yeah. I mean, look, when it comes down to it, when we found those signs downstairs, I thought they would work perfectly for this channel. So it became a part of the backdrop for me. And probably forever will be a part of the backdrop as long as I run this channel. Along with that flag, because, come on. I was born and raised in this state. I've always loved this state. It's a beautiful state. Okay, Wyoming really is. If you want to come down and visit it, do it sometime in late May, early June. Because that's when it's pretty much the greenest and it is the prettiest, usually. But, the flag also means something too. There is a history with Wyoming that goes pretty deep. And while, sure, it's not a perfect history because there is some blood in it, there is some not nice things that have been done to people of a certain indigenous race, which I am very sorry for. It's still got a lot of history, and, it's still one of the more important states in the United States, even if some people want to think it's otherwise, seriously, no, it really is one of the more important states in the United States, because, you know what? If it wasn't for Wyoming, we wouldn't have females in office. We wouldn't have, we wouldn't have ladies trying to run for president, Because, Wyoming is technically one of the very first states to have a female governor. And I think a female representative, if I remember correctly. It's probably one of the reasons why they were so hesitant to include Wyoming as a part of the 50 states, because of the fact that we had more women living in this area than men at the time, when they were trying to make it an actual state. And, and then when they included this as a state, yeah, that's kind of how most of that happened. So, yeah, that's kind of the reason why they have equal rights. Now it feels like a moniker that's absolutely for nothing, but that's only because of the it's because of the stupid Texans that moved in up here and then tarnished it and, kind of want to have it their way or the highway because, equal rights, what is that stuff? It messes with my freedom. Basically what they're thinking. And you know what? I'm sorry. I find that kind of thinking to be absolutely wrong because, equal rights is a part of freedom. And, okay, you know what? If I had to say anything, freedom and... Okay, so, freedom is something that's rather interesting, It's a topic that's very hard to cover because there's a lot of things about freedom that is very hard to explain. Nobody can really explain freedom, and I don't think anybody really has the right or the qualification to explain freedom because, you know what? It's complicated. Freedom is the ability to do anything. Freedom is the ability to say anything. Freedom is doing whatever you please, whenever you please. And again, there are some gray lines with that. Honestly, that's kind of the issue there too. As good as the idea of freedom really is, it's also corrosive. Where it can be corrupted and turned around. And it'd be like, oh yeah, these guys are impeding upon my rights, even though really, that's not the case at all. I think that's just people trying to take it a little too far, when technically, really, we should be supporting each other. And that's kind of what freedom is about. And if we don't necessarily like the idea, or we can't necessarily agree with it, then just let bygones be bygones. Because, you know what, at the end of the day, that's probably what should matter more than, you know what, going like, oh yeah, these guys are impeding upon my freedom. I need to, you know, get rid of these people, you know? Or we need to get rid of these people because they're not doing us any good. They're not taking us anywhere, and they're not, you know, again, that's causing a lot of issues with our country right now, and causing a lot of divide and hate and misogyny towards each other. And I mean, I think that's absolutely disgusting, okay? Like, it's part of the reason why I am not watching the fireworks that are going off out there or celebrating with them, because honestly, I don't feel like... Hi, Jasmine. You coming back? Okay, now she's curious of the ring light behind me. Yeah. Oh, I wish I had a place for you to hide, but I don't think it's going to necessarily... I don't think hiding from the sound is going to fix your issues, Jasmine. Jasmine! Oh, poor girl. Anyway, as I was saying, it's part of the reason why I'm not really necessarily celebrating Independence Day right now with everybody else on this current 4th of July day, because I don't want to. And, you know, it's my right not to want to, you know? I have every right not to do it. As everybody has the right to do it, or not. I mean, it's up to them. It's not up to me. And, you know, personally, I'm not going to, because right now I feel like there's a lot of things that are just going to pot in this country right now. And honestly, there is more factors than just who is sitting president and all that other stuff. But I don't want to get into politics here, because I know how divisive that can be and how hateful that can be. And that's part of the problem with me trying to say something about freedom and all that other stuff, and why I think I'm not qualified to talk about it, and nobody really is, because, you know, we can't really necessarily define freedom. It's hard to define. It's hard to grasp. It's a subject that is just untouchable for a lot of us. And maybe that's part of the reason why we have so many skewed views on it, why we feel so... why we have so many different ideas, but we just can't come together with it, because it's like, it's a hard thing to grasp. You know, tell you the truth, I think respect is something that should be valued more than freedom at this point. Because, look, you could hate other people, but that doesn't mean you can't respect them, okay? Like, that's something I think a lot of people really do need to understand, is that, you know, even if you hate somebody, you can still respect them. You could still honor them as a person, even if you don't necessarily agree with them. And I think that's something that's been kind of dying a lot in this country, is that, you know, we've kind of all lost respect for each other, where we've all kind of, you know, started acting out and lashing out against each other. And, you know, I think that's something that I think has happened. Okay, you know what? I know I got somebody watching right now. It's, the concurrent viewers jumped up by 1 as I was doing this. You probably might need to rewind just a bit to know what's going on here. Well, I was talking about my own lack of self-confidence, and then I dived into this whole other thing and talking about why I'm not watching the fireworks show and why I'm not celebrating the 4th of July with everybody else and like everybody else. Because, like, honestly, there's just a lot of things that are going on right now that I'm not exactly happy with in this country, politically, and, well, actually, tell you the truth, in the terms of sanity, like, I am not exactly happy with the way this country's going. But, yeah. Yeah. And like I said, it all started with me talking about the lack of confidence for myself, where I kind of wished I could, talk to girls or talk to people or have more confidence when it comes down to running my YouTube channel or having more confidence when it comes down to doing things or presenting myself a little bit more, because that's my biggest issue, is that I can't present myself. I have an issue with trying to present myself, and I really shouldn't have this issue. Like, it should be a non-issue, but it is an issue, and that's exactly the problem. Like, I kind of want to figure out how to fix this issue, how to adjust for this issue, how to fix myself for this issue. Because that's one of the biggest issues right there, is that, I know most of it's just up here, and, I need to convince myself and all that other stuff. But, right now I'm not doing too bad, but put me in an actual social environment where I'm surrounded by people, where I can make friends, and I'm probably going to be a nervous wreck, Or how about this? Set me up with a date and make sure she's beautiful, okay? She doesn't have to be perfect, not super skinny waist, big huge breasts. No, no. I mean, it's just just pretty and, presents herself well. I will be a nervous wreck talking to her. I could probably would be I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know how to feel. It's how do I talk to her? How do I talk to her? Jasmine's trying to hide underneath my desk. Jasmine, I don't know if you can, oh, it's okay, girl, it's okay. Hey, it's okay, Jasmine, it's okay. Gotta give the dog a little bit of comfort when the, fireworks are going off, right, Jazz? Right, Jazz? The doggy needs a little bit of comfort. The puppy needs a little bit of comfort. Hey, you comfort me all the time, Jasmine. It's alright if I comfort you. Jasmine. Hey. Jasmine? Oh, good grief. Are you blushing? That got her attention. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, like I said, get me in a room with a pretty girl and tell me to talk to her, and I'm going to be a nervous wreck. I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know what to do. And, I would want to impress her. 100% all the way. But it's what do I do or say to impress her? And it's bad enough that I don't feel like I'm a very impressive person overall either. I got weight issues. Seriously. I've been trying to exercise and get it off and lose weight. And, it hasn't been bad, too, because you know what? I visited the doctor of recent, and he said that I lost 10 pounds from the last time I saw him, which, I think was over 5 years ago. So, basically, I think it's an improvement that I lost the 10 pounds. But, I still need to, get into shape a little bit more, because my stomach is just not very impressive, or I don't find it very impressive. Though I have seen girls who just give me that pretty little smile, I kind of want to be around you. But, yeah, I'm okay, how do I react to this? And then, of course, there's the false flags, which, don't get me started on those. Girls give out mixed messages all the time. They could sound flirtive and not really be flirtive. It's are you flirting with me? No. Or, it's or either that, they could be flirting with me just talking to me normally. And I'm not picking up on it. I am terrible at that. I really do need to get better at reading people. I blame myself, mostly, but, still. I don't know if I've got a lot off my chest yet. I mean, I don't know how much I necessarily have off my chest yet either. But I do want to, like I said, I do feel like my life is worth improving, though, because it's the reason why I haven't committed suicide or died yet. Because, I mean, even that, okay, I will admit I've had the thought of doing it. But at the same time, I just feel like I'm too strong-willed of a person to do that, Like, I will resist suicide. And honestly, there's a lot of people out there who would say that that's a good thing. Because at least you have the strength to live. And, they're right. They're right. It is a good thing that I have the strength to live. But it's difficult. It is hard to say about... And again, it's really hard to say. And again, I don't know how tomorrow's going to go. Like, tomorrow, I probably could be happy could be. Tomorrow, I could be in a depressive slump. Tomorrow, I could be anxious and worried. Tomorrow, I could also be really angry. There is no in-betweens with this. It's always either full 11 or not at all. Well, maybe more of a 15, but either way. It's an ADHD thing, okay? If you know anybody with ADHD or met anybody with ADHD or have anybody personal in your life with ADHD, you would understand. And I have both inattentiveness and hyperactivity. Like, I have a hard time sitting still. Like, you probably noticed I've fidgeted quite a few times. I have my nose that itches. I kind of move around a lot. I have a hard time just sitting still because my brain thinks I'm dying when I'm sitting still. It's really hard to go to sleep because I want to be moving, but at the same time, I shouldn't be. And I have enough energy to probably power like 11 major U.S. cities and still have enough left over. Like, that's the issue. It's like, it's tearing me apart, man. It's tearing me apart. But, like, it's something that it's hard to control. A lot of people go like, man, I really wish I had your level of energy. I wish they didn't wish that. I really do. I really wish they didn't wish that at all, because their life would be a living hell. Like, they'd be worried about everything, and they'd be worried about screwing it up themselves because their energy and their speed and their tenacity and the way their brain will start working after that kind of energy comes into their life. Because you know what? I don't even know what I'm thinking half the time. Because most of the thoughts that I have inside my head fly through it. Like, I lose my train of thought a lot. Like, I mean, you've probably seen it through this conversation several different times. Where I bounced around from subject to subject. And, it's like having a rabbit inside your head that is distracted by everything. Or it ain't, no. How about this? A squirrel inside your head. No, a squirrel wouldn't be distracted enough either. Oh, what is the most distractible creature on this planet? Whatever it is, it's up here. It's operating the brain. It's at every single lever, grabbing everything, pulling it. Like, it's a monkey that doesn't know what to do, or 1,000 monkeys on typewriters. I mean, I know you'll eventually end up with Shakespeare, and I'm wondering when my Shakespeare's gonna come, but, like, I really hope it's soon. Like, I really hope my Shakespeare is soon. Like, I find my swan song, my go-to, my motif. And again, that's going back to my whole confidence issue thing, where, I was talking about where I have a hard time finding a place to sit and to live and to feel normal and accepted in life. Or feel like I'm okay. Because that's one of my biggest issues right now, is that I don't feel okay. I don't feel okay with a lot of things in my life. I feel kind of empty and unsatisfied and unfulfilled. And that's hard for me. It's hard for me. It's hard for me, period, to constantly feel like this. It's part of the reason why I have this depressive state. And heck, even the doctor has brought up the fact that I have depression. And, you know, he said that getting myself back on the medicine might help with my depression, but honestly, I don't think it's done anything like that because, you know, I still get these little moments of anxiety and anxiousness and, you know, downness and, you know, not feeling right about myself. And I think that's more of a outside thing than it is, and I think it's more of an external thing than it is an internal thing. I think it's something that no amount of medicine will ever fix. Because, look, even if I'm good at drive-thru at McDonald's, okay? Like, that's something that a lot of people tell me. Or if I'm good at working at McDonald's, you know? I don't feel like I'm good enough for that. And, well, first of all, not only do I... well, I have conflicting feelings about it, okay? I'm of two minds of this. Like, on one hand, I don't feel like I'm qualified enough. I feel like I fail on every aspect. I feel like I do a poor job, and that, honestly, I should quit because I'm not doing too good of a job, and that I'm underperforming compared to everybody else, and that I'm not doing enough. But on the other hand, I feel like I'm not doing enough for myself. I don't feel like this job was meant for me because I feel like this is under me. This is something that wasn't made for me in particular. And I mean, I think part of that may be just because I'm underperforming, but, you know, the other part of it's because I know I could do more. And I know I could do better. And I know that I can push myself forward into doing more and better with my life and taking it in other directions. And that's kind of the reason why I do this, is that why I program on the side, why I try to run YouTube on the side, why I try to write on the side, why I try to draw on the side, is because I'm hoping that someday maybe I might be able to make some money off of this. Have I been able to so far? No, I haven't. But then again, maybe it's probably because I'm focused on one too many things. But that's, again, going back to the fact that I don't know where my core is. I don't know what I'm meant for. It's hard to find that line, you know? It's hard to find that balance where I could keep everything on the tip of my fingers and everything's okay. But, you know, unfortunately, because of the fact that I can't manage to balance it, because, you know, either I get distracted by something that my mom wants to do, or something that my older sister wants to do, or something that my other older sister wants to do, or something that I want to do sometimes. Like, it makes it harder for me to do the things that I want to do. Like, for example, YouTube. I want to do more YouTube. Or, you know what, something that society wants me to do, because I gotta make money. I've mentioned this before in my existential crisis video. Yeah, I feel like this live stream was a bit stupid. I feel like I've done nothing. I've accomplished nothing. I've gotten nowhere. All I have done was just say words, and that's it. I haven't really necessarily alleviated anything or fixed myself or made myself any better or made myself a better person overall. And I feel bad about that. I feel like I've wasted both mine and your times. And honestly, I don't want to. I don't want to waste my own time. I don't want to waste your guys' time. But how do I not waste your time? That's my question. How do I do better for you guys? Because I think you guys deserve so much better than me. You really do. You all are awesome. Okay? I just want you guys to remember that. You're all beautiful individuals, okay? And you guys live your lives the way you want to live them. And don't let anybody or anyone else hold you back, because that's probably one of my biggest mistakes right there, is that I didn't live the life I want to live the way I want to live it. Even if I had no idea what I wanted to live. Even back when I was young, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an engineer. Well, I wanted to be an inventor. I wanted to be someone who tinkered around with stuff. I also wanted to be like a story writer. I mean, there were times where I even wanted just to be a superhero. For no apparent reason. I just wanted to be a superhero when I was young. Weird, right? Oh yeah, and then a Ghostbuster, but you guys already knew that. If you guys watched my Ghostbusters walkthrough, you already know that I wanted to be a Ghostbuster when I was younger, but that's neither here nor there. Like, you know, I wanted to be all these things, and I was never really sure what I wanted of myself. And, you know, I had all these people who expected all this other stuff, when technically, you know, they never really did bother to ask me what I wanted from myself either. And now that I'm an adult, I start asking myself a question, and I start dreading it. Like, I dread the question, what do I want from myself? Because I don't know what I want from myself. I don't know where I want to go, or what I want to do, or who I want to be with my life. It's hard to say at this point. It's just difficult to get a grasp on. And, you know, I don't think that's at the fault of anybody, okay? It shouldn't even be the fault of my own. Because I know there's a lot of people who probably are in the same boat right now, who are probably wondering who they are in life, what they are, and where they're supposed to go. I hope you guys figure it out someday too, if you are like that, okay? I really do. I have the highest hopes for all of you. Again, I have said it once before, I'll say it again. You guys are all amazing, wonderful people. And, you know, even sometimes the most horrible people can sometimes do something amazing and wonderful. And, you know what, can even do something that might blow your minds. And, you know, I don't think change is impossible, okay? Because as much as I would hate to break it to some people, life has never been that predetermined. You never know what's going to be waiting for you around the next corner. You don't know who or what is going to walk into your life and change your entire direction. You don't know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. And you know what? I'm not a Swami, so I can't predict the future for you anyway. And if I was a Swami, I would be the lousiest Swami alive. Because want to know what I would do? I would be like, alright, I predict that sometime in your future, you're going to be getting $1 million. But when you're going to get that $1 million is fuzzy to me. So I'm probably going to be sitting there and watching these people develop instant anxiety because they don't know when that $1 million is going to come in their lives. Or they're going to be happy knowing that there's $1 million coming into their lives. Or that weird mix in between the two where they're like, oh man, I might have missed $1 million. But then again, I don't know. Maybe $1 million is coming. You know that's life, right? That right there is all what life is about and what life is and how life is, you know? It's unpredictable. You don't know when it's going to happen. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You could wake up tomorrow and you could not wake up tomorrow. Probably not the best example. How about this? You could wake up tomorrow and maybe find a $100 bill on the ground. Just as much as you could wake up tomorrow and then get hit by a speeding bus. It's not impossible. And I'm not wishing ill to any of you guys, okay? Just so you know. I do not want to wish ill to anyone of any volition, okay? That's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to treat others badly. I want to treat others nicely and kindly and treat others how I would like to be treated, which is with patience, kindness, and fairness. Is it always possible for me? No, because ADHD makes me impatient. And sometimes the road to hell is paved with good intention. Sometimes you want to be the best person you possibly can be, but sometimes you do something that is kind of wrong and a little bit, how do you say, dickish? We'll just leave it at that. I think that's probably the lightest word I could probably use, but even then, I think I might get slammed by YouTube for using it. But, yeah, like, sometimes you'll end up being a jerk to people, unintentionally. And they're not going to like it, and they're not going to take it very well. And again, like for me being with ADHD, sometimes I usually tend to reflect the least calmest person in the room. And that's one of my biggest issues right there, is that, if somebody isn't very calm or, seems to be very agitated, sometimes I tend to repeat it tenfold. And I don't want to, okay? I really want to break out of the cycle, but it's stupidly hard. And it gets even harder when you consider that I work fast food and customer service. Which then, of course, in that case, it's like almost an impossible challenge. Almost, because I know it's possible. I've done it before. But it's not easy. It's stupidly hard. It's unfairly hard, if I must say. But, yeah. Do I look tired to you guys? I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this footage and I look a little tired. I don't know why. Okay, maybe I am tired. I should go to bed. But then, of course, it's July the 4th. There's all bangs and clangs and clinks. And I'm gonna have to sleep all night and never get those 40 winks. Pop. Anyway. And like I said, there's a reason why I'm in here streaming and not celebrating it with everybody else. And again, part of it's just because of the fire ban, but, the other part of it's just because, again, I feel a little bit disappointed about the direction that this country's taking. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep with all those pops and pinkles and winkles and all that other stuff going on out there. I don't know how else to describe it to you guys, but whatever. Anyway, I really should be getting back to work on this project here, shouldn't I? Because that's what you guys are coming here for. But, then again, I don't know. I don't know the odds, because honestly, most of the people that have come in to watch haven't really necessarily stayed around very long. And again, that's kind of what caused me to have this whole external crisis thing. That stopped me from doing what I wanted to do and I was set out to do. I'm actually really tired. Maybe I should get a glass of milk, huh? That probably won't help much, but you know what, maybe I should. I almost want to kick on some ASMR. That might help. But then again, I don't want to fall asleep in front of you guys either and keep this live stream going for a lot longer than it should. Though granted, I think I have fallen asleep on a live stream before too. And that was from like the month of scares, maybe like 2 years ago, I think. It was back when this desk used to be over there. Back before I reorganized my room again. Oh. I think I'm going to try and sleep in tomorrow. It might do me good, but I'm not quite sure. Because again, I'm hearing all these fireworks. Granted, though, I haven't seen any through my window, so I know nobody's shooting fireworks over that direction at least, so that's a good thing. I don't even know why I started this live stream either. You know, and like, this is me setting up way too high of expectations, because I was hoping to interact with more of you guys out there. I was hoping to interact with more people who, you know, just wanted to see me do stuff, or do something, or have some fun, or do something fun, or something stupid, or something weird, or something like that, you know? And honestly, nothing happened like that, and nothing is happening like that right now. I'm having a bit of an existential crisis with it, and again, which, you know, I really shouldn't be. And I'm wasting quite a bit of my time talking to you guys without really necessarily progressing anywhere. Granted, it does get a load off my shoulders. It does help, but, you know, still. I wished I could fix more problems with our society. I really do. Honestly, here's one thing I can say. You don't owe society nothing. It's kind of upsetting to think that society acts like, yeah, that you owe it when you really don't. I need to start working on this. I really do need to start working on this. This is something I do every single night. Every single night. And then I end up browsing on YouTube for like several minutes. And again, I don't know if this is my lack of confidence in myself or the fact that I'm just burnt out and tired and really just want to not do anything or more work, you know? I get tired of procrastinating myself, and I get tired of being tired. But I'm not getting tired of Jasmine. Heavens no. She is welcome in my room every single time, even if it's not exactly the cleanest right now. I gotta get back to cleaning up my room again. I will hopefully try to have things more organized and prepared when it comes down to GMTK. And, you know, I think the only reason why it fell back into the state it did was only because of the fact that, well, let's face it, I have depression and anxiety, and neither one of those seems to help when it comes down to maintaining a clean room. Actually, if anything, they hinder a clean room rather than help it. And it kind of makes it worse because it makes me feel apathetic and feel, you know, worthless. And, you know, when you feel worthless, you feel like a piece of trash. And when you feel like a piece of trash, well, you might as well be just surrounded by trash because you're a piece of trash too. Haha, you surrounded yourself with your own kind, you piece of trash. Or at least that's my mental mentality about it. And trust me, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there who probably feel the exact same way. You're a piece of trash, so you might as well be just a piece of trash. So let's just surround yourself with trash, despite the fact that really you shouldn't be, and you shouldn't be considering yourself as trash. Hard to say what is actually right and wrong anymore. And you know, I really hate the fact that I want to consider myself trash even though I'm not. And I really hate the fact that, you know what, I also seem to have issues with
here's the thing. I get criticized for not being a very good person all the time. By my own family, just so you know. Specifically my dad. Specifically, but, because I don't always get my chores done on time. I always seem to have some struggles with doing things that I need to do and when I need to do them. I always seem to struggle with maintaining my self in my room and all that other stuff. And my dad says it ends up affecting everybody else in the family, though granted, I don't really see how it's affecting everybody else in the family. It only affects me the most because it is my room and my living area, and honestly, the one person who probably should be most affected by it is me, because I cause my own mess. I cause my own disasters, and, I'm pretty sure everybody can agree with that statement, is that we all cause our own disasters in our lives, but most of the time anyway, not all the time. But, I struggle with maintaining myself and trying to keep myself maintained and trying to keep up with my own self and trying to keep up with my own train of thoughts and such, and trying to keep up with my own ideas and my own ambitions and such. And, it's tiresome when you have to work a full-time job, and most of that time, you gotta make yourself look normal. And guess what? Looking normal is something that a person with ADHD really doesn't know how to do. Not very well, anyway. Not without having some severe, exhausting things come along with it. And sure, there's a lot of people who go like, I'm just exaggerating it, but, I'm not. It is really exhausting just to try and be a normal person of society. My hair's all ruffled up again, isn't it? I gotta stop messing with it. I mean, it's already at the point where it's got a mind of its own. It's doing whatever it wants. And I hate that. I really need to have it cut. I really need to go see the barber or the hairstylist up in Casper or whatever. Whatever comes first. Whatever comes first. Excuse me. Don't know where that bird came from. But either way. Yeah, that's something I will say that is a bit of an issue with me, and that's something I wish I could fix and adjust and get right about my life, is that, and I understand that I'm not a perfect person. I need to let go of the idea of perfection for myself, because perfection is an impossibility. It's unattainable, and let's face it, I can't really necessarily be really, 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 really good. I just need to be me. And I think that's something that I think a lot of people really do need to realize, is that, being yourself is probably more important than, being somebody else, or being it's more important than just doing anything else, or trying to fit into society's mold. Because that's something that I will say that's kept me alive at McDonald's for so freaking long, is that because I don't follow the corporate standards. I usually tend to do my own thing. That's kind of how I ended up slave driving there for so freaking long, is probably because I don't follow corporate standards. But I don't know, I could never see myself falling into that category of just being, hello, welcome to McDonald's, or whatever, or doing whatever normal greeting they want to do. I mean, well, okay, I did the hello, welcome to McDonald's thing, but, because that's something that I usually do. But no, I mean, thank you for choosing McDonald's. I can't do that. I have a hard time thanking people for choosing McDonald's, because I know they're not going to be thanking themselves later for choosing McDonald's. Because, I mean, honestly, even if it is comfort food, it's still not the best food for you. I mean, I know how bad their regular hamburgers sit inside my stomach. The quarter pounders, when it's way too salty, they're just they're not really good. The chicken's alright. So, granted, I really wish they'd bring back the grilled chicken, but, neither here nor there.
Like, it's upsetting to think that, yeah, it's kind of upsetting to think that they just kind of want me to fit into that corporate mold. And, you know, they also want me to name, oh no, not enough video to maintain smooth streaming. What's going on here? Good grief. I hate my internet. I hate the internet out here in general. It sucks. It just sucks. Gesundheit! It just sucks. I got an itchy nose again. Somebody thinking about me? If it is, hopefully it's a girl and hopefully she's cute. I mean, I doubt it, but, you know, so. What do I do from here? Like I said, I don't want to go to bed right now because I know it's still noisy out there. And I'm not going to be able to sleep very well. And I'm probably not going to sleep very well either because after the main fireworks show is done, I'm pretty sure our neighbors out here are going to be shooting off fireworks until midnight. And that gives me a cold sweat because of how much brown there is out here right now. Because it's not exactly wet out here. It is dry. Like, dangerously dry. A Coke bottle could almost start a fire out here. It's dry. Well, okay, maybe not exactly that level of dry, but still, it's pretty dry out here. And that's an issue. That is an issue. Maybe I should just end the stream here. I haven't really necessarily made too much progress. Well, I made some, but I haven't made much. And the stream hasn't really necessarily gone the way I hoped it would go. But, you know, I'm not going to delete it. I'm still going to keep it up for all you guys to see, because, you know. Yeah. Well, I guess if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below. I don't know why you would want to like it, but whatever. I'd still like to read your comments, though, because, you know, you guys comment some rather good things and interesting things and fun things, and, you know, it's just fun to read other people's comments sometimes, and good to know that people are interacting with your video. I'm not trying to do an algorithmic push here, okay? I don't want to do an algorithmic push. It's the reason why every single time I say that is just because, you know, I really like the interaction, you know? But anyway, neither here nor there. So, anyway, like I said, if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. This is Supercholatemilkshake, signing off. I know, I'm ending on a very depressive note, but oh well.